Child, I'm just talking away. Well, hey, everybody, let's start again. Because I was just talking away. Thank you so much. I saw 6 comments and was like, there's nobody commenting this fast. There's 3 people on here. Hello, Tamar. Thank you so much. Tamar says no volume. I have a mic closed. Volume is off. Happy Sunday. Hey, Patrick. I had it on mute. Yes, I did. Hey, Deborah. I'm there. Okay. Can y'all hear me now? Can you hear me now? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? Commercial. It's been a few. If you're young, you might not remember it. Can you hear me now? I think it was either a T-Mobile or was it some cellular phone commercials. Can you hear me now? Can y'all hear me? I hope so. Let me see. You thought the hearing? Oh no, Ray. Listen, your hearing, I'm sure is fine. We're gonna bless the Lord for long life and good health in all your parts, including your hearing. We're going to bless him for all of that. So I was saying, though, that I hope you all have had a really good weekend, that I hope you've had a break and you had some time on Friday or Saturday to do some woo-sa. Woo-sa. That's what that motion was doing, the woo-sa. That you would take some time. I sure hope you can hear me now, Asleen, because, okay, T-Mobile. I think everybody can hear now. Pierre says, I'm happy to hear about more options trading today. Yeah. So anyway, T-Mobile. So can you hear me now? So anyway, you take a woosah on Friday evening. Maybe you do something. My husband and I went to the movies. I went to go see Planet of the Apes. I wanted to see it, which I'm actually glad we went to the theaters because I was fine with seeing it on the Fire Stick, to be honest. But there was a lot of parts of the movie that required sign language, where the apes did sign language, and usually on the Fire Stick you don't get sign language. Okay, Pierre, that's who you are. I meant to go and look at the broken wing butterfly again. I have a way to see what that trade actually is. I think it's neutral along with the other stuff. Anyway, we can talk about it more. But anyway, I went to see the Planet of the Apes, and I'm glad we went to the theater because we got to see all the subtext and the subtitles, which I thought was good. I did think the movie got a little slow in the middle, and I was telling my husband they need to pick up some, but they definitely set up the movie for, and I don't think I'm like giving any, what's it called, spoilers. I'm not doing any spoiling, but I do think they set it up for another movie to come after. Right. They've laid enough foundation in this particular movie that it's going to be set for, I believe another one is going to come also. Because this was the kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. The kingdom. Anyway, there's that. And so that's what we did on Friday night, like our date night kind of thing, to give us a woo-saw. I decided to literally put my phone in my purse and put it on silent so that I wouldn't be tempted to look at any messages or anything like that. I purposely did a digital disconnect for a little while. And then yesterday I didn't have any disconnect per se because I was teaching. Yesterday on Saturdays is our coaching call. First Saturday of the month is the coaching call of our membership. So I spent the time Saturday morning, which I loved at that time. So it was kind of a woosah though, because when I'm on YouTube live like this, I don't get to interact with the people of the membership like that, which we used to do Zoom every single day. So we would be on Zoom. I could hear voices. We could talk back and forth. But when I'm on YouTube, we don't get to do that. So I do miss the times on Saturday. So on Saturday, that's what we did. We got to just kind of hang out and talk. I did some teaching too on how to defend your credit spreads, which I need to take that video and put it into some content and release that content because if I say so myself, there was some good information that came out of Saturday's session, if I do say so myself. And I do. I'm not going to necessarily toot my own horn, won't break my arm, pat myself on the back, but I'm just saying it was good. Okay. But yes, take your weekends, take a little time. Then you get to Sunday. Sunday, we come into Sunday and you do your church or your worship. If that's what you do, I do. I actually go to church on Saturday nights, but, and I'm a Baptist. I'm not Seventh-day Adventist. Not that there's anything wrong with those. I'm just saying that my church has a service on Saturday that I really enjoy because then I can use my Sunday to do other things. So you got worship in the morning on Sundays, and then you get into getting your mind set for the market. You start to be getting yourself ready for the market again. So that's what I've done this afternoon is get my mind on the market and the market on my mind. Okay. Miss Marsha said, yes, it was some good info on Saturday. I thank you so much, Miss Marsha. Okay, so now we're going to talk today about what kind of things we saw coming out of last week and then what we could potentially see coming up this week. We're going to talk about earnings, what meetings are coming up, and we're going to go through some trade ideas for the week. This is June. First week of June, we saw literally some bananas. Did y'all see the bananas that happened on Friday? I'm going to share my screen so we can see the bananas that happened on Friday. The market fell and fell some more. I'm going to put us on a 4-hour chart here, see if that helps us to see what I want us to see. I might have to do a different time frame so we can see. Basically, the market fell at the open or in the morning, and then in the last half, this is Friday, right? These two, this is Thursday. So this candle, this is on the 4-hour chart. So I have it on the 4-hour chart up here. Let me change this so it can be a little bigger. Come on, Cletus. There we go. So this first red candle, not the first red, but this red in front of this big old green candle, this was the open, the first 4 hours of the day. That's what this candle was. Drop. This candle had a range of, we're on SPX, 19 points. Why does it seem like that's really not enough to be for that candle? Let me see. The top of this candle is 52.43 and the bottom of it 52.91, 51.91. So that's more like 50 points. Where's my range at? Usually when you're on the candle, it shows you the range and it says 19. That's not accurate. Anyway, this candle went as far down as 51.91 and up as high as 52.43. That's 50 points, right? 50 points is between those two, from 91 to 43. So this is a 50-point drop that happened from open all the way down, right? And then the second half got back on a horse and went from the low of this candle, 52.12. No, the low, 52.12 all the way up to 52.80. So it went up 60 points, 68 points, dropped 50 and went up 68, right? That is good math, I believe, the high and the low. 52.12 and 52.80, about 68 points. This is what happened on Friday, this foolishness. So you're looking like, what in the world, right? So I think this is my speculation, because of course I don't ever tell you all that happened. This is Friday drop and then go back up. There's a little pause here. I think what happened is it was the end of the month. So at the end of the month, you have rebalancing where people have closing their positions from the month, maybe people who had monthly positions that are going. And I know monthly you got the third Friday of every month. That's what you got going there too. But the last day of the month, we're shutting down, closing up our books, yada yada. And then the second half is a rebalancing, or people putting their orders back in for the subsequent month of trades. End of the month, we're wrapping up. It's almost like if you work at any company, if you're working in accounting or any of the books, you got to wrap up your books at the end of the month. This is kind of a wrap up the books. We need to rebalance, see what's what here. And that's what I believe happened on Friday, right? But did we hit a support or not? You could say, yeah, we did. But this seems so big for one day. It was a lot that happened all in one day, kind of the setup for the months to end, and it felt like a lot. So earlier in the day, you could be thinking this was going to go down, so you jumped on puts, or you jumped in call express thinking you was going to ride out the wave, and then it hit some support down here and showed something different. What I was able to do, this is SPX. I was looking at SPY and Triple Q, but what I saw here, what you're looking at, these candles represent the strat. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of the strat. Hey, Adrian, not sure if you ever heard of the strat, but the strat is a trading method that goes with 1s, 2s, and 3s on the sides of the candle. But one of the setups, if you want to call it that, for the strat is a 2-1-2 reversal. Basically, you've got the one is going one way and it changes direction and goes the other way. And then when you've done that, it can then take out the highs of previous candles. If these highs are very close to each other, which these were, the prices can go back up and take out all these pivots, which is exactly what it did. Price just went and went and went and took out all these pivots that were created right here. So I watched this happen, to see what was going on. But this support here, this little green area provided support. And then basically the price turned around and went the other way. We're going the other way. We're going the other way. Yes. That's what happened in SPX, which the same thing what happened in SPY, which happened in XSP. Those all really run alike. Right. So I know we had some people in our community that made some money. We also had some people who sometimes we get settled into a spot and you're just riding down thinking we're going to be riding forever. And you don't. And then you have to have, this is my, encouragement moment, that you need to have an entry plan and you need to have an exit plan before you enter the trade. You need to have an entry plan. What's going to make me get in this trade? Then you need to have an exit plan. What is the trigger for me to get out of this trade? And you need to have that plan written and you need to follow it. All right. It's so much easier said than done. Don't tell me about it. I'm just saying that you have to have a plan for when am I getting out of this trade, when it pulls back far enough, when it passes up a thing I have as a stop loss, what will be the trigger for me to enter and what will be the trigger for me to exit. All right. And if you don't know, if you need to write yourself a trading plan and you kind of don't know where to start, send me a message or let me know here in the comments and I will send you a sheet that helps guide you through your trading plan. I will help guide you through what is your trading plan. Okay. Now, we're looking at all these charts. I want to say this early in the call. We are having, starting tomorrow, we are starting the Start with the Chart challenge. It's a 5-day challenge. I'm putting the graphic on the screen right now. Start with the chart and make more profits challenge, right? Because we're going to spend some time in a few minutes. We'll get to where I'm going to do some charting on some of the trade ideas that we have. And I want to be able to help as many people as possible to see how do we use the chart. Like I just told you how I saw that 212 turn around going the other way. How can you identify using the chart? How can you see places where the price is changing? Is the price going to continue? Is price slowing down? What does this pattern kind of mean? Those are things we're going to talk about. Support, resistance, trending, which indicators, which are key indicators that we see. These are some of the things we're going to talk about next week. The challenge is free. All right. The challenge is free, except if you want to get recordings, you want to be included in the charting part, you want to be with the Q&A with me after each night. I'm going to spend about an hour, maybe 45 minutes sharing information. And then after that, we're going to go into another Zoom where I'm going to open up the floor. We're going to answer questions. I'm going to take I'm going to share trade ideas. And if you are a member of the VIP, you're going to be able to get those recordings. Okay. And that's $47 for that piece. But the challenge is for the free. It's for the free. Go ahead, though, and get yourself registered if you want to be a part of that. It's free, but you got to register for it. Okay. You like to talk about a plan. Okay, Richard, I got you. Let me see. Go to educator.trade, educator to trader, not dot trader, educator2trader.com in order to sign up and register for the challenge. If you're in my membership, if you're a paid member, then you're already grandfathered into the challenge. You're grandfathered into everything that I do if you're a paid member. If you're just hanging out in our stuff and you've been in challenge, you need to register again. Right? Just so I'll know who's coming to this and you can get all the information you need to make sure you can make it, you can be able to come. All right. I'm sure I'll mention that again, Intel Shop and Google. All right. Did you do your homework I put in the chat for you too, Janae? If you're not sure what I'm talking about, go back and look at that graphic to see what I said we needed to do. We all needed to do inside of that Telegram. Okay. But I got your 3 written down. Okay, this is what we had. Let's go look at some earnings. The earnings that are coming up for this week. I'm getting this from Earnings Whispers, which is on Instagram. Thank you so much, Earnings Whispers, for always putting this out. Yes, there's so many more companies that do have earnings each week. Earnings Whispers really put together like the ones that are anticipated. Doesn't mean it's definitely, this is not everybody. If they were to do one for everybody, they would not have room on this piece of paper for everybody who has earnings. But these are the main ones. So tomorrow morning, we're going to have SAIC before the open. SAIC is going to be in the morning. I'm trying to remember something about them. Oh, I was thinking about SAIA. SAIA is the food people, right? Food transport, not them. This is SAIC. We've got GitLab or GitLab Monday after close, Bark, Health Equity, and Lavoro. That's Monday after close. Tuesday morning, we've got Bath and Body Works. Bath and Body Works, they forever having a sale at Bath and Body Works. When I went there, was it right before Mother's Day? They had oh my goodness, they were having a sale. I think it was buy two get two free or something like that. And I went, we walked in real quick, and I was looking for something in particular, and I left, and I was like, there ain't no way I'm paying full price just because it's Mother's Day, because I know these mothers gonna have a sale. They always do. All this stuff gonna go on sale. I'm gonna wait till they having the stuff for, buy three or buy two get two free, or everything is $6.99 or something like that. Bath and Body Works always gonna have a sale. Bath and Body Works. I'm actually looking for some more of those wall plug-in things, but on the sale, they $2.95. When they have a regular price, they want $6 and $7.95 for them. I know I can get it for $2.95. I can wait. I don't have to have it now. I ain't got to have them now. No, there's a fly in here. Okay, we got Ferguson. I took me a rabbit trail. Donaldson, Corin, Maine, Designer Brands is Tuesday morning before open. Tuesday after close, CrowdStrike. That's one of the ones that's anticipated. CrowdStrike, Hewlett Packard Enterprise, PVH, Guidewire, Stitch Fix, Verent, VRNT is something I think I talked about. I think I put those in a chat for one of on my Telegram group. Sportsman Warehouse and Lakeland Industries. You're waiting on Ferg, Dollar Tree, and Lulu. Yes. Miss Marsha got her 3. Okay, Miss Marsha, did y'all do what I asked you to do for homework? Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree is on Wednesday before open. Ollie's is Wednesday before open. Unify. Better Food, Better Future. Ooh. Camels, Hibbett, Thor, Daoyu.com, looks like something Asian. Lands End, and then Rev, Vehicles for Life, and Global Blue. Wednesday, well, who was that said? Curtis said he's waiting on Lulu. Lululemon. Now, Lulu has had some struggles here recently. They had a bunch of puts that came about a few weeks ago where they was falling off, as my friend Josh would say, falling off the bone. They were falling off the bone. Lulu has earnings Wednesday after close. ChargePoint, which I really thought ChargePoint was going to come through and be doing some stuff when that whole electric vehicle thing was really, really a thing. I'm going to tell you, I'm not real sure that we're going to go all electric, because I feel like if we were really going, we'd be going a little faster, or we'd be going a little more of a press. Right now, it seems like it's still optional. Electric still seems optional. And if we were really pushing at it, it would be a lot more infrastructure. That's just my philosophy. Okay. But I really was behind. I was rooting for ChargePoint, and then it kind of like, yeah. Five Below is Wednesday after close. Victoria's Secrets, Grief, Semtech, Sprinkler, Couchbase, Smartsheet, and Renew Power. Power seem to be a thing here. Power and data. Y'all need to know that power and data are 2 things you should keep your eye on. Power and data. Okay, so Thursday morning, we've got Neo, JM Smuckers, the Jelly People, Toro, Big Lots, Sienna, ABM, SecureWorks, Addicts, Hooker, and QuantaSing. That's all Thursday before open. Thursday after close, DocuSign, Samsara. We got Rent the Runway, Braze, Vail Outlets, Planet, Zoomies, Energy Partners, DGL, Energy Partners, Quanex, and Tilly's. Tilly's is the hat people, right? And then on Friday before open, we have Jay, Jill, and Graham. I had someone in our community ask me, why do we care about the earnings? Why do we care about the earnings? And my response was, as sellers, we care about earnings because the volatility that comes along with the event, the binary event that happens around earnings, is much more than a seller wants to be a part of. With selling, we want to find out where price is not going, right? And you want to kind of keep it in the middle, up, down, but you want to kind of keep it on level territory, right? Either we're going up, we're going down. Well, earnings can pop something really hard or drop something really hard that you aren't planning for in the chart, right? So we look at earnings to see what not to trade per se for that week, or when to trade it. So let's say, for example, I was going to do Bath and Body Works. I don't plan on doing it, but I'm just saying, if I was going to do Bath and Body Works, I wouldn't enter a Bath and Body Works trade on Monday. Let me switch and put it back on my screen because I took it off the screen. If I was doing Bath and Body Works, I would not do Bath and Body Works on Monday morning. I wouldn't do a Monday morning entry because it's going to have earnings Tuesday morning. Right? Bath and Body Works is here. I wouldn't enter on Monday morning because it's going to have earnings Tuesday morning before open. What you might do though, if I really wanted to trade Bath and Body Works, I would wait till market opened on Tuesday, see what Bath and Body Works did for earnings, see what kind of situation the stock is in after earnings, and then I would pick a trade and go from there. So I would say, okay, I wouldn't trade it starting on Monday, but I could trade it. I wouldn't trade starting here. I would trade it, after if I wanted. Or if there's something like I said, okay, I really want to trade DocuSign, but I want to do it for the week, then I probably wouldn't trade DocuSign this week. Or if I did it, I would do DocuSign this week, and I would make sure I closed my trade on Thursday before earnings came out. You understand what I'm saying? That's why why we use the earnings, why we bring earnings in. Now, if you're a buyer and you're doing earnings, you're looking, maybe there's some things, as Curtis just said, some stuff he's interested in. You would use earnings, maybe if you've got a good earnings strategy, right? Hadn't found too many good earning strategies. I've seen like straddles or strangles, which can work in earnings. Which what happens is a lot of times you see it pop, and then you get IV crush because all the volatility, the implied volatility is there for earnings. And then once the earnings call is made, all that IV crush causes your premiums to dry up. Even if you had a really good trade and it's moving the direction you want it to, if the premiums dry up on you too fast, you could still end up losing on a trade that price action wise should be winning, but it wouldn't be winning because of the IV crush. So you want to keep that all in mind. You want to keep all that in mind when you're trading earnings. This is why we share earnings, so that way we'll know. Curtis said the earnings give some info as to the consumer sentiment and how businesses are spending and where they're investing. Absolutely. Where's the money going? Where's the money going? Curtis says crowd, just not sure there'll be a move after PanW and ZS already reporting on the cyberspace. I see you, Janae. I see you, sis. Okay, so this is what I see for earnings there. Okay, if you're part of our community, no, I don't want to go there yet. I wanted to go to the calendar. Where's my mouse? There we are. I want to go to the calendar next. Let's see what's on the agenda for the week. These meetings will move the market, and we want to be prepared. We want to be prepared. Okay, so Monday morning at 9:45, we've got PMI. Right, this is inflation information. 9:45 and 10 o'clock, we've got that. That's why they're red folders. Construction spending month over month is also at 10 o'clock. So 9:45, 10 o'clock, we got stuff. Total vehicle sales is all day. Now, I don't know if vehicle sales is going to move the market per se, but I will let you know that vehicle sales is a thing that does give an indication as to what's going on with people's, like, the consumer sentiment. What are people doing? Are they buying or not buying vehicles? Which I think they're going to be a lot more vehicles sitting around on these lots in September than there has been in previous years, because people who've got cars that are running real good aren't necessarily going to be at no car lot buying a new car, because I don't know. We just must pray. For those of you who know the words of prayer, as they say in church, if you know the words of prayer, you might need to be praying, because we might have a few dark days. So Tuesday, June the 4th, And that's not me just being like, doomsday conspiracy, because I believe the Lord's going to take care of who He's going to take care of. And I'm one of them people. So I want you to be one of those people too. But I'm saying that doesn't mean that there won't be some stuff we got to live through and maneuver and pray through. Tuesday morning at 10, we've got Joe's job openings here, factory orders month over month. That's all Tuesday morning at 10. Tentative is the RCM tip. They always say this is tentative, and then it ends up showing up. I don't know if it moves the market much, but it always shows as tentative. Wednesday morning, another red folder, ADP non-farm employment change. PMI, the ISM services PMI shows up again on Wednesday. Crude oil inventories, all of that, or even though this shows as yellow, it really should be orange. That's some more red folder on Wednesday. Red folder on Thursday. We got unemployment claims on Thursday, challenger job cuts, trade balance, unit labor costs, all that's Thursday. Another red folder up. And guess what? We got another red folder on Friday. Another red folder on Friday. Average hourly earnings month over month, non-farm employment change, unemployment rate. This is all Friday morning. This data consumer credit is 3 o'clock, and final wholesale inventories at 10. All right. So every day this week, there is a red folder. Every day this week. Only one of them, well, each only one of them, there we go. Only Thursday has it before the market opens. The other ones are when the market is going. I heard a guy talking, I'm not sure if anybody follows him on Twitter. His name is Charts. He's an older guy with a white beard. He was actually on the Strat Soldiers. The Strat Soldier has a Saturday call he does, and it was in Twitter. And he had this guy named Charts on, and he was talking about okay, now what was I talking about? He was talking about something to do. Now I've lost my train of thought. I was so busy going through all the things that he was talking about. Oh, he was saying that the first, something that I say all the time, honestly, so gave it confirmation to me too, was like the first 15, 20, actually he said 30 minutes, the first 30 minutes of the day, he said he does not trade. Now he trades as a buyer. So he said he doesn't trade the first 30 minutes because the first 30 minutes is like institutional buying and selling. All the stuff is happening at 9:30. So he said he doesn't do anything till 10 o'clock. And then he trades the opening range breakout. It's another thing that we talk about in our community. I was like, well, listen here. He's a buyer though. And of course we're sellers, but to wait at least the first 30 minutes is something we talk about. And then to let price settle down, figure out where things are going. If some of us who are trading SPX are also looking for that opening range breakout. He also said he stays on the 30-minute chart, which I thought both of those things were very interesting. He made a statement that said it's not where it goes, but it's where it closes. The price can go all the places, but it's not where it goes, it's where it closes, right? There you go. Gone. Oh, finally got rid of him. Sorry, y'all. That fly had to go. Let me see. Do I have my computer plugged in? I don't think I do. Now I do. Woohoo. Car sitting around is not good for Carvana, but Carvana has been doing its doggone thing. June and December are big auto buying months. Yes. So do the car dealerships buy in June in order to sell them on their lots? Or do people buy in June? People like the regular everyday folks buy a lot in June. I know the new cars are coming out in September. Maybe do people buy in June and July because they're getting the cars from the current year? I didn't know June was a big car buying month. December made sense. June, I'm interested to hear more about that, Janae. So maybe you can put us some more information in the chat. Okay. Let's go look at, there we go. Let's go look at our list of trades for the week. Now, if you're in the membership, you can see this whole list, right? You can see the whole list. There's about 30, 32, I want to say 30 stocks. Oh, I know what I wanted to show. Let me go grab it before I go there. Let me see if I can find it. Did I put it here? And I may not have. If you're not a part of our Facebook group, I would encourage you to go and join our Facebook group. Trading for Beginners is the name of the group. Options is the name of our Facebook group. I wanted to share the results of our last week's. I wanted to share the results of our last week's list of options. The trade idea. Come on, baby. I give you a list of results of last week. If I can ever get this to come on and open up, I think you don't want to go outside. It's not raining here. Is it raining where anybody is? It has been raining here, which is good, but sometimes you miss the rain. Come on, group. Is it raining where anybody is? I'm trying to think of where else I put it. That might be inside of our Telegram. That's going to block it up. I need it. Yes. I really would like to know why that won't open, but we'll see in a minute. I forgot. Add to the stage. Dry in Texas. It's dry here in Florida too. I'm in North Florida, but it's still dry. Okay, so this is our. I hope y'all can see that. I was trying to make it bigger, but it doesn't look like it wants to get bigger. Oh, there it is. These were our trade ideas for last week. These were all of our trade ideas for last week, and I wanted the green check mark means it was a profitable trade. Green check mark means it's a profitable trade. A red X means it got breached, fully breached, like it was breached all the way through. So the price ended below 68, price ended below 101. There's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. The red dot means that it was partially breached, like the price stopped in the middle. Okay, so we had 5 of the red dots, but we had 41 because there's 51 on here. There's 51 trades on here. First of all, I was like, 51 trades definitely would have felt overwhelming. It was overwhelming. So it's probably a good thing that I didn't share the whole list with everybody. I only shared the whole list with my community. But there's so many things to choose from here. That's a good thing, I guess. It can be good, it can be bad, depending on how you're feeling about that. But anyhow, so the green check, there was 41 green checks, so 41 trades on this list that were profitable, that would have been profitable trades, right? So 41 out of 51, you can do the math. It's about 80% return, 80% success rate, not return, 80% success rate based on this list. Now listen, 80% success rate. Now, of course, nobody traded all 51 of these things, but if you picked any of the 40 that were profitable, you would have, you would have been successful. Now, some of the things we traded last week for my community, which I made an executive decision that we will stick to the list because that's what we do the list for, right? But we could have traded any of these things, and we would look at these iron condors though. Iron condors, of course, you're getting money on both sides of these. Only one of these out of the basically 12 trades, only one of these was breached. That was the data dog, which we were in the data dog trade, some of us in our community. But all of these iron condors, provide money on both sides of the trade, provide premiums on both sides of the trade. Listen, at 80% return on of success, 80% success rate. Yes. Can we clap it up? Can we clap it up? Yes. Now the list comes from Peakbot. I do get the list from Peakbot, which is why their thing is down here where it says use Peakbot. But Peakbot doesn't provide these numbers. Arlissa provides these numbers. Who is Arlissa? It's me. Arlissa is me. I am Arlissa. I provide these numbers. So 80% success rate. Listen, I was like, let me go and check and see what the results of this is, right? So now we do have a new list for this week. If you're in my community, you see, or my membership, I got to make sure I'm clear because my community is this, but my membership is not as much. So if you're in the membership, you do get this full list where you can choose and decide which ones you want to trade, right? And which direction you want to trade on. But we have some of these we're going to go over today. Let's go over some of these and let's see what we're going to see. I'll pick 2 off of the put credit spread side and 2 off the call credit spread side. Yeah, I'm thinking 2 is good too. I'm thinking 2 is good. Do we want to go with I find that BAC, and see, the banks don't always, maybe C will be good. The banks don't always give us good premiums. The banks don't always. Does anybody trade BABA? Or do we want to look at FCX? We want to look at BABA or FCX? Put in the chat. You want BABA or FCX on that side? I feel like Datadog ought to give us some of our money back. So I'm putting them on this here list. So we're going to look at, that's not called revenge trading. When you go back and look at the trade or look at the stock that, caused you some issues previously, you trade it again, you go and reassess it and trade it again. That's not called revenge trading. Revenge trading is when you don't do any more assessment, but you just run back into a trade. That's revenge trading. I got you, Miss Marcia. If you go back, reassess a trade, go do some technical analysis and come back to trade it again, that's not revenge. That is regular old trading. Okay. So I'm going to do Datadog. What else we want to do on the call credit spread side? Y'all want to do Disney, Baidu, or Dash? I already got Datadog on here. We want Baidu. I got Baba Rich. Y'all want Baidu, Dash, or Disney? Give him room. Janae, FCX. I may still look at it. Did we get Baidu, Dash, or Disney? I have my thought, but I already picked Datadog, so I'll let y'all pick. And then on the bottom, we'll look at Devin or Devon, whichever he is, 47.5 and 51. And then we'll look at GPS. We'll look at both of these. Iron Condors are my friend. Okay, Iron Condors are our friend. Okay, Janae, give me back my money. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Give me back my money. Ray says, I want to learn the credit spreads, but what scares me is the risk of assignment. A 30 to 40 stock, okay, but 70 or 110 stock out. Okay, so the way you don't have to worry about assignment really until expiration day if your trade is still open. You don't get assigned. First of all, you don't get assigned in the middle of the trading day. Nobody's assigning any money in the middle of the trading day. Okay, that's the first thing. I got Dash. That's the second thing is the assignments only happen after expiration and or they can happen after market close if there's a significant difference between your trade and the current price. It needs to be significant, right? And generally that doesn't happen. So I think I've heard you ask before in another forum about getting assigned. And they said the assignment only happens on the expiration date after hours. So the way you, of course, avoid assignment is you close your trade. Number one, you got to worry about it. If it's breached or it's past the strike, you can just close the trade and then you can't be assigned something when your trade is not on. The other thing you can do is only trade spreads that are cash settled. So cash settled would be SPX, XSP, RUT, I think DI, is it DIA? I want to say DI. There's several of them that are all cash settled. You can trade credit spreads on cash equities. That way you don't have to worry about any shares. Those don't have SPX, XSP, RUT. Those don't have shares. So you don't have to worry about getting assigned. All right. All righty. So we got our list here. Let's move on to our list. I think I covered everything I was going to cover. Earnings. I did that. I talked about the chart your way, the challenge. Don't forget, we're still running. You need to go ahead and register for the challenge. Register for the challenge. I'm going to run it along the bottom so that way people can still see where we're going with that. Okay. Let's head over to the charts. Let's head to the charts and get us a screen up. If you're here and hanging out with us and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, pass the word, hit the notification bell. Make sure that you put a thumb up so that YouTube knows that we want to see this, that you want to see this, and they want to show it to more people. I think that's what we can do to be of service. Share the wealth. Definitely share the word out there. Let the people know. Tell people about the challenge that we've got going. Again, it's free. They want extra stuff. We're there. But really, if you know people who want to learn how to trade the stock market but don't know where to start, how about we start with the chart? The chart is the most important thing. This price action that we're looking at is the most important part of trading. For a long time, and I'm going to be very transparent here, for a long time, I didn't see the chart I didn't see charting as a necessary thing per se. It's like, yeah, if I get to it, I'll do it. But of course, after going through some trading and some losing, you decide, well, this little charting thing might actually be something I need to be looking at. I might need to be looking at charting. So you start to chart, basically, okay? So charting is a very important. And if you're investing or trading, either one, you need to know how to read a stock chart so that you'll know about your investment. You need to know how, and anybody who wants to start, charting is a perfect place to start when you are going to be looking at investing or trading. Okay, we're looking here at, this is Citigroup. This is Citigroup. Citigroup is on the put credit spread list for the week. Citigroup is on the put credit spread list, which means we're looking for something underneath here. From what I can see, our support is here at 61.55. You look back across the thing, you can see here, there's several places where it went here and stopped, went here and stopped, right up in here, went up and stopped. This kind of hovered in the zone, went here, or this actually started, it dropped down here and opened, and then started and went up again, right over here in this spot. So you can see that 61.55 is a good support, right? So if we're looking at 61.55 as good support, we're talking about put credit spread. We want to trade a put credit spread. You see, where is my graphic? We'll pull our graphic back up to the screen so that way we can look at it. Not this graphic. Come on, baby. Come to the screen. It's opening slowly. Slowly. I'm opening slowly. Okay, so this is Citigroup, right? 60.61 is what we have. 60.61 is what we have for our strikes. When do we enter this trade? When do you enter this trade? I'm going to put something here that may, okay. Put credit spread 60.61. Okay. What you want to do is you want to give the opportunity for price to come towards this area. Maybe price comes towards it. Actually, that's the right place for it. Price comes back towards the 61. As it comes to support or comes down towards support, you want to be able to enter this trade then so price can go on up. How do we know to do that? How about we do, I'm going to put Do you know how to put an alert on? You know how to alerts? Okay, I'm on Thinkorswim. So using a different broker, you may have to look at. I'm not sure. Robinhood, I think, does do alerts. Don't quote me on that. Robinhood alerts. Robinhood has charting, but I don't know if it has alerts. But I think Yahoo Finance will let you put on alerts, and if you have Thinkorswim, I know you can do alerts here. But when you're on the chart, you can right click onto the chart and right click and then create an alert. Oh, come on. Are you going to let me do it? Here we go. Create alert. I'm down here at the bottom. We're creating an alert. It opens up. It's going to give us the chance to fill in. I want to know when price is at or below. 61.55 is support. So I'm going to just say if you're at or below something in this area. Right now, the current price was stopped at 62.31. So I'm thinking if it's coming towards 62, that lets us know it's at least coming down in the direction. At or below 62 will be an alert to enter the put credit spread. Okay, enter the 61 put credit spread. You want to try to enter when you're the price is toward support. Now, I'm notorious for entering the trade when I got time. I got time today, and that's not the best time to get the best premiums. It works. It works from the standpoint of I'm entering the trade. I'm going to get the premiums that are there, and I still want the same strike price I'm looking at if I deem that that's a good strike price. But it's not necessarily where I'm going to get the best premium. The timing is where I won't get the best premiums if I'm not, if I don't wait for it to come more towards support, right? Now, let me tell you this real quick. If you are going to trade Citigroup and you open up on Monday and Citigroup has dropped down below 61.55 or 61, if those numbers that we just said aren't good numbers when the market opens on Monday, then what you do is look at your support. If 60.61 is not good anymore, then you look at some other supports. You say, okay, well, I see another support down here at $60.16. So maybe I decide I'm going to do, are we still on C? Yeah. Then I say I might do 59.60. This was here from a previous time. But you might say, okay, because I see another support down here at 60.16, then I may drop down to a different strike, right? Don't just right, go follow the graphic blindly. I want you to look at your chart again before you enter the trade, so that way you can see if those numbers are still good numbers for you. Do you still agree that price is above 61.55 and it's doing its thing, and 60.61 is still a good trade? All right. Okay. Curtis said C is respecting the 50 EMA on the daily. I like that 60.61. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it when I get some confirmation. 60.61. And if whatever it's going to pay, let's go see what it will pay. Now, this is what it's going to pay right now, which the market is closed, which is not going to be accurate payment, right? But if we're looking now for June the 7th, and we're looking at 60.61. We want the 61 on the put credit spread side. We want 60.61. And we're going over here to the puts. At this point, if we were getting into it right now, it would pay $14. We're not getting into it right now because the market is closed. But $14 is what it's going to pay right now. If you let the price come down a little bit out of this 62.31, let price come down some, these premiums will get better. Right? You still are going to like 60 and 61 because it's still below the support, but you want to take in as much premium as you can. Right? You go here, 60.61, you pick on it, and then you go with that. I'm going to go ahead and confirm. Let me change it to GTC so that way it'll pick up in the morning. This is our sim. Whatever you need to do to put the trade on a list that says I want it to trigger. Sometimes what I'll do in my live account, I'll pick the trades I want, and then I'll put some high number. Let's say if I pick 60.61 and I pick something like $35. You can change this number, by the way. I could pick something like 35. This will put it on the working list. So that way, In the morning, when the market opens, because sometimes you look at a lot of different stuff on the weekend, you may forget. But now you check monitor, it's going to put that trade on the monitor or on the working list. It's going to put it on the working list. Yeah, so here we go, working. It puts it up in the working list and maybe lets you know that you're interested in, reminds you that you're interested in entering that trade. Then you can adjust it to something that's more realistic. Okay, that makes sense. If you got any questions along the way, please put them in the comments. If you've got questions, I'm gonna make this bigger so we all can see, because I think this is hard to see right now. I can look at my screen and see these letters look mighty small. So I'm gonna change it to larger. Well, I'm on larger already, but I'm on the big screen. That may be why it's doing that. Okay, there we go. Hope that's easier for everybody to see. Okay, that was C. Now let's go look at BABA. We're looking at BABA. We're going to go to the chart. Go into the charts. Okay, how about we try BABA? Thank you. I know what's going on here. Let me save myself this right here. The other trading view is running and it's taking up juice. Taking up some juice. That ain't what we need. We don't need you anymore, and we don't need you anymore. We need the chart back. There we go. Close up some stuff that may be holding up, using up the memory, the internet, and the memory. Okay. This is Baba. Baba got lots of gaps. Ooh, is this how Baba always looks? Ah la la. Y'all trade Baba? All these gaps, Jesus. Okay. We're looking at Baba's on the put credit spread list though. And the close, which that's not accurate. Oh, come on. Okay, come on. Work with me. Work with me. Okay, let's go back. If we did the close here, a lot of this is all filled back in. Not all of it, but a lot of it is filled in. But the gap goes from the close to the open, which would be here, but then all of this would be included. So that would be the gap. But some parts of it, as you can see, have been filled in. But there's rooms in here that have not. Like there's a distance between, I guess you got wicks. If the wicks overlap, then it all would be called filled. Filled, except for this little one back here. I'm gonna call that one filled because there's a lot that happened there for Baba. Okay. This little gap here is still here, but this one down here, this part down here has not been filled. I'm going to go from the top of this wick to the top of this one. The bottom of that one. Okay. That's the gap that still remains on Baba. If we're looking at our put credit spread, we said here, put credit spread for Baba is 76. 75, 76 is what we said here for Baba. And the bottom of this gap, which is going to play support for us, is 76.18. Notice we've had some touches. We've got back here where it came into this area and went up, down, and then went up and still kind of hung there, but it jumped up and now there's a gap over here that is okay, was still kind of in here. Anyway, touched again over here. Touched here in April 29, around April 29th. So this is some support, 76.18. So we said 75, 76 is a put credit spread. Goodness. PCS 75.76. Okay. 75.76, that's below the gap. Current price is now 78.34 as of the close on Friday. 75.76 is $2 and some change below that. Let's go look at the trade. I'm going to take us to the single screen so we can see, do we like 76? Probability out of the money of 77%, plus minus of 3. So if we took 3 off of here, we're actually at 75 and some change. So you think it's going to hit there and move on back up? Yep, that's my thoughts. 75.76 puts us right here in what some would call safe zone. I'm putting that in air quotes. 75.76, if we were entering it today, you would collect $16 if you were entering it today. When do we enter this trade? We would enter this trade when price was coming down into the gap. Price is coming into this gap. You could enter this trade and that will be coming towards support. It's going to feel uncomfortable. Okay, or what you can do too is let it hit the support and then turn back and then enter the trade. That way it'll give you some, some confirmation or some comfort that it's at least leaving the zone that it went to. So if it's at or below, I'm going to say the top of this gap, which is, I'm going to cancel this because I need to see what the top of this gap is. Top of the gap is 77.25. That's about $1 away. 50% of the gap is like 76.70. I probably would, if it was coming halfway into the gap, because the 50% mark of this gap is also going to play some support. The top of the gap plays support. The middle of the gap plays support. And the bottom. There's some more supports in there too. Promise. I'm not, I haven't negated that or forgotten it, but just there's several supports inside of a gap. So I'm going to go with putting an alert on, and I'm going to say if it breaches at or below, let's say, I'm going to say 77 actually, at or below 77, then we can start looking at, what do we say, 75, 76, put credit spread entry. We got us an alert that'll tell us it's already over here. It'll alert you and say, ding, ding. Something's going on the Baba chart. So that way, if it comes in here, you can say, well, let me go see if I'm ready to enter the trade. I'm ready to enter the trade. I'm coming to a better understanding and ability to be patient when you're entering trades, because you get the better premiums that way. Okay, here we are. This is FCX, Freeport McMoran. What does FCX do? Anybody know? Anybody know what FCX does? This is a serious sword-looking thing right here. What does FCX do? There's support here at 51.52. There's some more support here at 51.19. For our graphic, FCX, we've got 49.50. 49.50, which honestly, we probably could go with 50.51, but I don't want to encourage anybody to be too close. That Baba is a risky Roger. Yeah, Baba seem to have all those gaps. I don't know about those gaps. A lot of people trade Baba. I see it mentioned a lot. I put it like down, say a lot of people. So June the 7th, if we're looking for probability out of the money, 50 has an 83% probability out of the money. 51 has 72. Now, based on the charting of the chart, 51 does look like it would be a good place for this trade, because 51.19 is a second support. There's two supports between here. And this sword candle, any got any candle folks in the chat? What does this sword candle indicate? What is, besides being indecision on the buyers and sellers, what does that sword candle indicate? FCX is the mining of precious metals. Okay. What is this sword? This long wick at the bottom. Run. This long wick at the bottom. And it opened and closed about the same place, right? Above the previous day. I think Jamie talks at times about previous day high and high above previous day high, low above previous day, below previous day low. Basically, this is what's called an outside candle. If you know anything about the strat, definitely a doji. Thanks, Miss Ruth. This long wick down here, do you think it tells us it's going to maybe go up some more, that it may be going down some more? It's like there was a lot of selling pressure, but the buyer said not so fast. There was a lot of selling pressure, but the buyer said, I don't think so, right? There's indecision for sure. For sure, there's indecision. This long wick at the bottom, though, can operate as a rocket. This long, the wick on the bottle rockets from your, is there a drawing tool on here? From your, when you all were doing, when we were doing, not you all, when we were doing fireworks. I know some people who go all in on the fireworks. I don't have a pen, but this long wick here lets us know that there may be some more upwards. But this particular day, there was indecision between buyers and sellers, but the buyers definitely pushed us back up out of seller territory, back to this indecision place. They agreed on a price. They weren't undecided. We just don't know if the buyers or the sellers are totally in control. But I would say in this case, we went lower than the low of the previous day, but we didn't stay down there. It's not where it goes, it's where it closed. And it closed up higher than the previous day. This could be an indication that we want to go up potentially a little bit more, right? So this put credit spread is a good thing, right? So we could do a put credit spread at 49.50 or 50.51. Now, if you're a little more conservative, go with the 49.50, right? 49.50. You are a little more, a little more risky. The 51 is a 72% probability out of the money. And since we do see there's some indication that we may be going up, and there is support, there's two supports between current price and this strike we're talking about. 49.50 is paying, let me change this to 49. 49.50 is paying $10. Credit spread for $10. That's 10%. That's cool. That'll work too. 50.51 is paying $20. Of course, the market is closed right now. So 50.51 is definitely going to pay more than 50 and 49. 49.50 is going to pay less than 50.51. That's just the way that goes. When do we want to enter this trade? Looking at our chart, we want to enter this trade as it's coming into, I would say, this first support, which is 51.52. When it's coming down to 51, let's do our create alert. At or below 51. We got to put credit spread entry. I'm going to say 50.51. Some people would go with 49.50. Both of them would be fine. Okay, both would be fine. If you want more money, you just do more contracts. You do more contracts. That's how we work that. What questions do we have? If you got questions along the way, please ask them. If you need me to explain something further, please mention it. Okay, so those were three on the put credit spread side. Let's go to the call credit spread side. Data dog. Okay. I told y'all data is something to be watching. Even though Data Dog, they had earnings last week, didn't they? They had earnings last week, I believe. I know they paid some good premiums and then took our Mondays. They paid good premiums and then took some of our money. Okay, this is the gap that is now waiting to be filled. There is support here at 112.46. 112.46. There is some support. The bottom of this gap is also going to provide some support. The bottom, middle, and the top of this gap is also going to provide support. That's about the middle, just eyeballing it, and that's about the top. Okay, so we've got 117, 116 and some change, and 115 and some change. If you want to go down to 112, which we don't, you could go there as well. Support though under 115. I want to say I picked, let's see what we have on our graphic. Oh, you know what? I'm looking at the wrong side. I always do that. We need to be looking at support, not support, resistance. We need to be looking up here. We need to be looking at resistance. I always look to my mind always goes to the put credit spread side first. Every single time. We're looking at call credit spreads though, because we said Datadog, we believe, is a call credit spread. Y'all got to say something when I'm drifting off into the, 119.37 I see as resistance from here. This big old gap had been filled and it went right. It filled this gap. Notice how this was a gap here. It came up slowly but surely, filled that gap. And after the gap was filled, it went right back down. So I told you that gaps will provide support and resistance. Gaps will provide support and resistance. Okay. So we went up, pulled back a little bit, went up some more. Got a resistance here, 123. And then another one at 125. There's actually one more right in here in the 124 area. Let's put that on our chart. I didn't look to see what we put on for, what did our graphics say? $114. 114 is what we have there. Am I on? What side am I on? Oh, why does 110 seem so far away? Something must be in here. We need to go into this candle. Because at this point, we can't see a good resistance in here. I think this would be the area. But let's go to a smaller time frame. If you can't see inside this big old daily candle, if you can't see some support and resistance, you got to get to a smaller time frame so you can see what actually happened. What actually happened in here, right? This is that candle. We're looking for some resistance. We stopped. We closed right down here at 110.16. We're looking above here. Looks like the 112. I had that from the other one. And then, holy, these big old wicks. I would still go with this area here, which is 115. Now I'm feeling this is the 112, 113 is, come on, you can move. That's what's going to provide that resistance. These candles here. Now, those things happened in the pre-market. If I look back, I'm sure we can see some stuff that happened further back that supports this. That's in the 112 area, though. Let me see what did make me pick 114. I know probability of the money is going to match what I'm trying to say, but I want to see it on the chart. I need more data. Need more time, I say. Let's see if 90 days will give us some more information. This is what charting can include. It can be very quick. Sometimes, though, if you decide the charting of this is more than I want to do, you can definitely go and find another stop. Okay. Something happened back in here. What day is this? Tuesday. I don't see the date. It wasn't this past Tuesday. I don't see a way to see the dates here. This is where I see 113.99 happened back on this day, whatever this day is, way back here. All right. So let's go look though at the option chain, data dog. Call credit spread side. Probability out of the money, 76 is 114 and 80% is 115. Depending on again your level. Now data dog's been doing a little moving. It is going a downwards ride, which is why we're doing call credit spreads. So 114 or 115 may provide you some resistance. I keep wanting to say support, some resistance. 115, 116 is paying $18. 115, 116 is paying $18. 116, 117 is paying $8. Not as desirable. Let's go look at the plus minus number. Plus minus 4.9, which or 5. So if you add 5 to this, you're at about 115, right? You take the 110 and you add 4.9 of that or 5 to that, you end up at 115. So this is where the 115 here paying $18 could be quite useful. 115, 116. Let's put that on our chart. Let me go back to the daily. Anybody want to trade data dog next week? I'm like Janae, we need to get our money back. 114 is below the gap. Actually, this gap, I went 115. What am I? What's on my graphic? 114? Yeah, the graphic says 114, 115. I probably would go 115, 116. I feel like 114, let me see. I'll look back at the probability of the money. 114 has a 76% probability of the money, but that gap information is important. So you be safer at 115. Also seeing that you got a plus minus 5 to add that to the 110. 115 is going to be a safer place. 114 is going to provide you more money. 76% probability. Now, I'm never trying to convince anybody to do anything. I don't give investment advice, but a 76% probability of success is actually good. But you want to go with where you're comfortable. Okay, go with where you're comfortable. I like 115, 116. I'll put that on this chart. And if you're writing your notes down, put it on your notes that you like 115, 116 versus 114 and 15. Call credit spread 115, 116. Okay. We entered this trade as price is going up to that 113.99 as it's going up to that gap. Let's put us a little alert on. At or above, I'm going to say 114. If we're going to do 115, call credit spread 115, 116 entry. Okay. All righty. All righty. That was data dog. Let's go look at Baidu. This is Baidu, another Asian stock, Asian Amazon. We used to shop at, I think Baidu is not Asian, Asian Google. Isn't that Baidu? Baba is the Asian Amazon. Baidu is the Asian Google. All righty, so we're on the daily chart. Let me see. I see a few gaps we can identify on here. These seem to have filled those. There's one way up here. There's one more here. Close to the wick. Okay, those are gaps that will need filling. Those are gaps that will need filling. We're looking at the call credit spread side. Call credit spread. It's definitely a pause that happened up in here. We need to be above the gap on the call side. Yes, you do. So did I say below? Did my thing say at or below? It should have said at or above Where's my, here we go. Let me go and edit. Let me edit my alert. Yeah, at or above 114 is where we should enter. We're entering 115. We're entering the trade for 115, 116. But after we get up to into the 114 area, you can go ahead and determine when you want to turn on your trade. Okay. There we are. Call credit spread side. See some support resistance in this zone of, what's this here? 99, in the zone of 99. What does our graphic say we're doing for the call credit spread on Baidu? 101, 102. Above this resistance here, 101, 102. Now, what made this resistance? I don't know why that's resistance there. The top of this gap, we can go with that. Top of the gap is 99, so we really have room. I bet there's something in this candle. See this long candle here? A lot of price action happened in this candle, but you can't see it all in the one candle. You may need to go to a smaller time frame. Let's go up to a higher time frame first, because sometimes going to a higher time frame shows you some things that you don't see here. There's a gap here that got filled. There's a chair right here at 112, but we're talking about that's higher than we want to be as well. I don't see anything there that's right in here, though. I see support. Let me make it a little bigger so y'all can see what I see. It was right in here. I made it go a little smaller. This is the 98 over here, but then we've got, see these support resistance area, because they can go both ways. That's 102.71. I think I picked 101, 102. I thought I saw a chair somewhere that made me think I like that. 97 plus minus 4. 97 plus minus, we're going up to a plus 4, which puts us at what, 101? 101 probability out of the money of 77, or you can go to 102. You know, I try to stay above 70. Actually, I would probably go with this one, but you know, for the sake of the people, 101 or 102. Let's change to the vertical. 101 shows us $15 payment, $15 in premiums you're going to get at 101, 102. This is beyond your 4 points there. 101, 102. Let's see. We're going to do a, oh, no, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to do a text box. Even though you all have CCS 101, 102. This 99.8 right at 100 was here and here. Got some spots. I bet if we go back, we'll see some more. But even closely, we have these two. Okay, Baidu, 101, 102. Let's put on our alert in case we need to do to see what are we doing. We're entering this one. It's at or above. Ooh, it's going to be hard to wait and watch it come all the way to 100. CCS 101, 102 entry. Because then you want to make sure that it's coming to the coming towards support or resistance, whichever one. In this case, resistance, and then turning back so you can enter and get some decent premiums. Okay. Nope, I don't want you. What else was on this? Let me see. We got Dash. Call credit spread on Dash. We're looking at 114. Current price 110.11. Current price is 110.11. Oh, let's go back to the daily chart. Looking at the big picture, I see something happening right in here, which is 113.6. I see something happening. I see how these are all stopping in this around this same area. There's something there. We're not doing a downwards ride, but now this candle, this bottom last candle on the daily chart, this will be a hammer. And the hammer is an indication that it's going to try to go up some more. But we do have resistance at 113.6. So as we come back up to the 113.6, this may be where you look at entering for your you're entering for your call credit spread at or above 113. Call credit spread entry. You can go above that 114, 115. You see here, there's something's happening even in the middle of this 114.63. So if you think you need more buffer even there, let's go to the single chart. 77 is 114 and 82 is 115. Plus minus almost 5. So 115, I think I put 114 on the chart, but I think I like 115 more. But I say dash. Yep, I think I like 115 with the plus minus 5. Now, for me personally, I might go with the 114, but it would depend on what the price was doing. 114, if it responded to this resistance this 113.6, if it came up here and turned back around, then I would probably go with the 114. But if it also got up here to this part, then the 115 is going to pay decent premiums because it's going to be in close enough proximity. So let's look at the 115, 116. 115, 116 currently is paying $15. Market is closed, so keep that in mind. $15. If you went to 114, 115, that's currently paying $18. Okay, I would go with the 115. After, let me see, call credit spread 115, 116 after 113.6 resistance. I'm going to say response. I would want to see how it responded to that 113.6 area. Want to see how did it respond to this area before going back the other way. And if it did a good response to this and turned back around after this went up and back down, then I would be comfortable with those strikes. What do y'all think so far? What do we think so far? We've got Devin. Devin is on the Iron Condor list. There we go. Devin's on the Iron Condor list. Cancel. Here we are. 47.5 on the bottom and 51 on the top. 47.5 on the bottom and 51 on the top. Let's see where that came from. Can y'all see where we could put some stuff on this chart? Y'all see where we can put some stuff on this chart? Okay, we've got some support here. I'm on the daily. That's 47.19. There is, actually that gap is closed, looks like. Yep, they're right there, calls each other. And then we've got another gap. I'm leaving it small like this. I know that you're not, it's easy to see, but sometimes when you leave it small like this, you can see the hills and the valleys a little easier, and then you can zoom in. Then you can zoom in on what actually happened. You know what I mean? You can get closer into price action, but when I have it out like this, I can actually see these peaks and valleys show up a lot easier. These peaks, it's a peak here and a peak here. They show up a lot easier when you have it, zoomed in a little bit like this. And then when you're ready to see something different, you want to get closer, you just zoom in. There's something that happened right over in here where price did a pullback in the middle of this big old candle. Here. We see there's a spot here and two spots over here where price did a stall right in the middle of this monstrosity of a candle. This big old green one. Let's zoom in. Well, let's get a little closer. We're not zooming in. We're just getting closer. We're getting bigger picture. I guess that's called zooming in. Okay. I had 49.5, I believe, on the graphic, and 50, 51, or 51. Yeah, 47.5, not 49, 47.5 and 51. 47.5 and 51. Now, I used to be able to say that this to me would have been a gap, but I've changed my thinking on this. 47.5 is here. 47.5 is here. And I said 50, 51 based on this resistance up here. Looking at an iron condor. Okay, let's go to the single chart. 47.5 has an 82% probability to have the money. And when you're doing an iron condor, you can be a little bit further away because you're getting money on both sides. 47.5 on the put credit spread side. And I believe I said 51 on the call credit spread side. 47.5 and 51. 47.5. 46.5. I'm going to change this to, I don't want anybody to get confused. 47.5, 46.5, which would be a one spread, is paying $10 or $9. Sorry, paying $9. For 46.5, 47.5 is paying $9. And then we would partner that with the 51.52, which is paying $6. The two together would pay 15. Okay. Now, what's going to make this be what make this be better premiums is the timing of when you enter the trade. The timing of when you enter the trade. So let's put some notes here so you can see what I'm talking about. We would enter, what do we say? The put credit spread was 46.5, 47.5. Enter that PCS as price approaches, I'm going to say rejects, or as price rejects our support here, the 47.19. You can go as low as that to see if it rejects that 47.19, which is going to be lower than 47.5. But if it rejects that, you're going to be able to get in 47.5 going up. It's already up here now. Honestly, you could probably use the 48.17. You probably can use this. And I may just change that. You really could use this 48.15 as it does the move down to that. I think I like that better. You can enter that trade as it comes down to, come on, open up so I can type. 48. Nope, that should be an 8. Really, as it enters 48.15. This was the support right here. So as the price comes into approaches this area and it rejects off of it, then you can do your 47.5. That's where you're going to enter that one. And then you're going to enter these at separate times. You're also going to enter this, the call credit spread side. Enter what we say, 51.52 call credit spread as price approaches, rejects the top of this gap, which is 49.75. These are the kind of notes I'll put on my chart too. Hopefully you are writing up your chart so that way you'll see. You'll remember, because for me, if you're looking at different things, you come back to your chart, you'll be done forgot. You'll be done forgot what you put it on there for. Why did I put this on there? I don't want that. I want this. There we go. That's for Devin. And so when you're entering at different times, right, you're going to get better premiums. You don't enter an iron condor. It's not optimal to enter an iron condor all at the same time. You should enter the top when it's going up. And you could do the top. Yes, the order, Miss Marcia, I just typed them in first. But you enter them as it does whichever. If Devin approaches the top of this gap first, then enter that one first. Okay, enter whichever one it's doing. If it starts to pull back on Monday or whichever day you're going to enter, because it may not be Monday, then enter it as it's doing either one. The call credit spread, if it does that first, then enter that one first. If it does the put credit spread first, then do that first. Okay, that was a very good question. Okay, that's what we're going to do for Devin or Devon. Anybody know if it's called Devin or Devon? I think Devin probably sounds like it would be it. Okay. I feel like I want to grab that picture. Maybe I'll come back to it and put it in our chat. The last one, last but not least, we're going to do GPS. GPS is, I don't know. Oh, Gap. Why did I not know that was Gap? This is Gap. Gap had a big old, talk about gaps. See what I did there? It had a big old gap. This must have been earnings. So it closed here. It went up and pulled us back. So it pulled back to the bottom of this wick. But this gap will need filling. It will need a filling. I may not fill immediately, but it will need a filling. Let's see if we can find some resistance up here. It kind of blew past this one here. Now, this is Gap, is on the neutral list, which means it is on for iron condor. Let me get us some more data. Let's go with 2 years. See if I can see. Has Gap been up here in the past? It's not looking like it yet. Let's get us some more data. Yep. Way back here in 2021, Devin was back in this. Devin, I keep saying that. This is Gap. This is the Gap. Back in 2021, it was in this area. Let me see. I see some right where it is right now is resistance. So it's currently at 29.11. We scroll back right here in August of 2021. It was there. It hovered in this area a while. If you can see these, I know this is very little, but I want you can kind of see the candles, what the candles are doing here. But you've got 29, 59, and 30, 69. Let's see what the graphic said we were going to do for 27 on the bottom and 31 on the top. 27 on the bottom, 31 on the top. Okay, I want to go back to our current place. because we need to see what happened at the bottom. And I'm thinking the bottom is probably going to be based on the bottom of this gap. Or these other mounds that are in the along the way. Oh no, come on. There we go. Sorry, I'm moving it kind of fast. Give me the line. Okay. There's a support here at 23.28. A lot of this seems momentum-y. Is this gap filled from here to here? Yep, this gap was filled. 26.71. There's a little one here. It was also filled. It's got skipped over twice, but now it got filled by this big old candle. Okay. I want to look into this candle more. Anytime you see these monster candles, there's probably something that happened inside. Probably something that happened in there. Okay, I do see a few supports. 2706 is a support, which is honestly, there's another little area here inside of the post market that had some resistance. So you got some support, and you got another support up in here at 27.97. So I'm looking at these because current price is 28.96, but we're going to look at putting our put credit spread underneath all this. So we need to see what kind of supports are inside of that big candle. And you see, I've just identified several of them. So we can then say that we want a put credit spread. I put us at 26.27. Put credit spread at 26.27. Not really at. Put credit spread 26.27. Is there somewhere in there? It's actually below this. And what did I say for the top? 31, I think I said. 31. Yep, I did. We're going to do call credit spread 31.32. Okay, we're going to go look at the option chain to confirm what we see. Maybe. There we go. It's going to be up here somewhere above that resistance that we saw. Let's go look at the option chain to make sure that we agree with these numbers. $27 has an 77% probability out of the money. I was looking at this implied volatility. 77% probability out of the money at 27, and 31 has also 77%. Let's change this to verticals. 26, 27. Ooh, 26.5, 27 is paying $13 for a 50-cent spread. Ooh, that makes it a little interesting. 26, 27 is only paying $11. You have to definitely wait till the market opens to make sure these numbers are right, because that 26.5, 27 paying more than this one doesn't seem realistic. Okay, so 26, 27 pays $11. That does seem a little more realistic with the market being closed. And then we've got 31, 32. It's paying $18. So you've got 11 and 18, $29 you're being paid total for an iron condor. You put both sides together, right? $29. And that's if you don't enter in like close proximity. If you wait till the price gets to where it's going to be, then wait till the price goes up to enter this one, wait till the price pulls back to enter this one, you're going to even get better premiums than that. Friday was a 52-week high. Yes, it definitely was, because the highest price we saw was back in 2021. That was 3 years ago. So it definitely was a 52-week high was Friday. But let's go back to the daily chart so we can see why we're okay with something above that. And we're okay because we went back to previous data to see the last time it was up here. Some other resistance areas were up here too. right? We've got 3 resistance, 29.11, 29.59, and 30.69 before we even get to the 31.32 that we have here. Do I look at the plus minus number? Plus minus number is 2. So if we take, this is a virtually 29, and we add 2 to that, we're at 31, right? If we add 2 to that, we're at 31. Come on. That helps to inform our 31.32 as well. Even though there's 3 resistance areas between current price and the strike we're picking, you want to have, several things that support your decision. All right. Ooh, we went over 8 stocks. We went over 8 stocks in here. I had to put on my computer glasses today. These are my glasses that help to reflect all that light coming off the computer and all that good stuff. Right? That's what it's supposed to be doing. I want to take us back again to, if you haven't signed up, you're still hanging out, go ahead and sign up for the Start with the Chart Challenge. Pass the word, tell the people all about it, okay? We're going to tell the people. In addition, E2T membership includes our morning calls, includes our once a week during the week training calls, and it includes our monthly coaching calls. Right. It includes a Telegram group where I hang out with people and we all trade together. Sometimes I send in trade ideas and things that we don't necessarily talk about on our YouTube calls, but they get the best of me. Yeah. So if you want to be in a group of people, you want to hang out with some folks who are doing the same thing, trading as sellers, and really just seeking to grow their portfolios together as sellers in a little bit less stressful way. It can have its stresses too. Then you want to join us. Basically, I want to help coach you. I want to help teach you and train you and help you to know that trading as a seller is a thing. All options is not option buying. There are option sellers. We're part of the sellers community, and we're here too. We're here too. Okay. All righty. I believe I've covered everything I wanted to cover. I wanted to go over charts. I wanted to go over the calendar. I wanted to go over earnings, and I wanted to go over some stocks. All righty. Yes, Miss Marsha, you're very welcome. Miss Marsha says she's learning more and more each session. I'm an exceptional teacher. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. Let's see if I can grab it so I can put it in my information. Let's see if I can get in there. Anybody got anything they want to add? Go ahead and say something if we want to add something to the comments. We got some questions. We got anything, y'all go ahead and say it into the chat before I wrap us up. Oh no, I wanted that. I wanted that. Questions, comments, concerns, as they say. All hearts and minds clear. All righty then. I'm going to see you all tomorrow morning at 9:25. Jamie will be at the helm, but I will be there as well. And we'll get ready to open up the market for the month of June. We finished our Sim May. Now we're spending June working on charting technical analysis is our focus for the month of June. So that's what we're going to be doing this month. Hopefully you'll join us in the challenge. You'll stay with us. Consider joining us in the membership, joining the challenge, all the things. Y'all can always find me on YouTube. But if you want a little bit more one-on-one time, say it's not one-on-ones per se, but if you want more time that you are talking and talk directly to me and ask all the questions, all the things, then you want to be inside the membership so you can do that. All right. All righty. So then we're going to do 2 things like we always do. We're going to stay green. We're going to get this money. All right. I'll see you all in the market. Goodbye, everyone. I didn't know we've been here almost 2 hours. Bye, y'all. Bye-bye. Where did what's his name go? I think I closed it. Well, it's still there.